Just come back from a trip to Fiji, so you're a little bit more tan. So
yes.
Yeah,
not so much on my face, but definitely my body. You can see
okay.
I've got a nice little glow.
Yes, you do. So obviously the draping goes against your face, so
yeah.
I'll take it a little bit into account, and I already did my sort of pre-work a little bit with the undertone against your skin, and I could see that you just had like a slightly more of a tan in the overtone.
So I had white blonde hair when I was very little, and as I got older it just got darker blonde. So I found I've always naturally gone back to some sort of blonde colouring because it suits my complexion better.
Yeah, it does.
Whenever I've gone dark brown, I've been every colour under sun, purples, reds and stuff, it just never, it washes me out, I think, a bit too much. I'd love to think it would be fun and wild to do, but then every time I do it I end up back here and it takes a lot of work, so we'll just stick with this.
Okay, that's good. Because obviously when you do change your hair, it can dramatically change your colour scheme, as you would have known with experience. So it's definitely something I would ask before, because I want you to get the most out of your colour swatch.
No, definitely staying with blonde.
I'm going to run cool colours in front of you first, and then I'm going to run the warm colours in front of you. Now, what I'm looking for is sort of the rise of temperature, sort of extra redness that gets shown, or the tan that is on your face, it gets just a little bit more accentuated with colours that are not quite right for you. So the right colours create a great balance. I'm not focused on anything else but you. So now tell me about your favorite colors. What are your favorite colors that you love wearing?
I always, interestingly enough, you picked purple first. I am a purple girl.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Probably out of all shades of colors, like I've never been real green or red or yellow. I do love probably more pinks, purples tones.
Right.
But predominantly I actually wear black all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if that comes from a fitness background, like you tend to be in black tights and then a black top, but I've always loved, from a little girl, I've always loved wearing black. I find it quite elegant. But if I had to pick color, it would be more purple tones.
Purple tones. Okay, great. Excellent. Well, without
there we go.
Let's start. I organised my drapes before, and the purple had to be at the top for some reason, so there you go. Okay. Now you have lighter features, so light hair, light eyes, light skin. So I'm starting with this. I've got two sets that I can start to analyze cool and warm colors, and this is a set for lighter hair and lighter eyes. So that's a lovely color on you. That to me raised the temperature a little bit. So this feels a little bit too warm, too much intensity. All right, so the next ones are pinks. That's a lovely shade on you, brings out your cheeks quite well, your eyes. That to me again rose the temperature a little bit in your skin. Would you wear this color?
Probably not.
Probably not, no. Okay.
Probably more a pink than a apricot or anything in orange.
Yes. And do you like bright colors? Do you like?
Yeah, like I do like them for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I've worn, bright hot pinks in the past, or deep purples, mauve.
Beautiful. Okay, now blue will always make your eyes pop because you've got blue eyes, or blue kind of greys almost. So any type of blue will always look quite good. But let's see if the cool version is better. So that looks lovely on you, very balanced, versus that one. Now it feels like it's a little bit too rich and too intense, and it just rose the temperature a little bit in the cheeks. So a little bit more redness in the cheeks. So the first one was a better color, so the cooler colors seem to be sitting on your skin better.
Yes.
Now this is an interesting next set of drapes. So it's called sand, and the other color is called mushroom. That's the more sort of cooler side of things. These are the colors that you would see a lot in sort of the base of a pattern, for example. So we're not thinking, okay, my gosh, let's buy a top in this color and let's walk out with it, because it's not that great. But the base of a pattern needs to still suit your skin tone. So a base of a pattern in the cooler colors will look better, as opposed to that color that just sits a little bit away from you. It's a little bit too rich and too yellow based. Here's the yellows, the cool yellow. 'Cool. yellow. That's a lovely shade on you actually. versus that just sits away from the skin a little bit.
I can see
this
that.
was a very obvious one. So too rich. It's kind of funny because the yellow had too much yellow in it.
Yeah, it's a good way to describe it.
It's funny. Yeah. Okay. All right. So now we do the whites because there's white and white. So this lovely sort of ivory is gorgeous on you, like your top basically. And then that is a little bit too yellow, not as good as the first one. Yeah. So greens also will be a lovely complementary color to your eye color. That's a lovely shade on you. Beautiful. Nice. That is a little bit too rich and too warm.
It's amazing how you can see such a difference just in the shades.
Did you just see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? So now we've done the first sort of set in terms of cool and warm. I think it was pretty obvious that you are a cool color season, and then in the cool color season, there's only really 3 color seasons, or in fact only maybe about 2 color seasons that your light hair, your light eyes, and your lighter skin are suited to. So what we'll do next is the jewelry tones, and to see if you're more suited to the clearer colors or to the muted colors. So what I can observe from here already is that your skin looks more muted. Even when we did the first sort of color drapes, you were more suited to the muted colors as opposed to the really clearer colors. So let's just see how that comes out. Here we go. So we'll start with more of the muted as opposed to that. So that sits away a lot. It reflects the light. So that's the difference between muted and clear colors. One reflects the light, the sunlight hits it and it goes pew, and the other one takes it in. When you scan your eyes over the new collections, for example, the clearer colors will always stand out. So if you're a muted color season, you already can see, okay, well that's the pocket of color in a store that I probably need to avoid a little bit. So it's always easier to spot the ones that reflect the light, because they're just easier to see. So, but you're more suited to the first one, the muted colors.
Interesting.
And then that versus the gold. Let's see how the gold obviously is more yellow based, so in principle it should not look as good as the silver ones. But in effect this gold looks better than the real shiny one. So you can still wear some of it, but I think ultimately sort of silver or white gold is a better look on you. We're pretty set on that you're a cool color season, you are a muted color season. So that gives me sort of 3 options. You are in the summer range of colors, and in that we have a cool summer, we have a light summer. So hint, hint, I think that's where we're going, because you've got light highs, light hair, light skin, so it kind of already fits in that really nicely. But we're still always going to compare. So the third color season in the summer range is soft summer. So traditionally people in that range have got sort of more darker hair. I still want to compare it, because that's what we do in color analysis. We always say this looks better than that. So that's what we're doing. So I'm comparing the cool and light versus the cool and soft. Okay, which will be a bit richer. So that is a lovely red on you. Gorgeous, like really, like it just looks stunning on you. That feels a little bit away. It feels a bit richer. It feels a bit darker. I think the skin doesn't like it as much as the first one.
Yeah, the first one had that little bit of almost a bit more scarlety undertone. It was lovely.
In the purple family, there's a lovely section that sits between navy and purple. It's called periwinkle. Yes. Absolutely gorgeous. And with your eye color, you've almost got a periwinkle kind of shade to it. Because when I did your preparation, your eyes almost had like a grey kind of blue. So it almost feels that this shade is very close to that. So anything in that color that you wear will look amazing on you. See how that is really nice and soft? Just pops your eyes. Okay. And then this next one sits very far away. It's a gorgeous color in itself, but do I look at you all together? That I'm looking at that, and I'm looking at you. I'm not looking at you together.
Makes more sense.
So that's the difference in when something that is really suited to you goes on. Because color analysis is really just like wearing a top, you know. It's no different. So,
but it's amazing to see that shift.
The shift, yes. You're so right, because when you get dressed, you don't just go, well, let me put the other top on just to see if that's my colours. You just put a top on. But here we're doing it like within 10 seconds. So, okay, gorgeous pinks. Really lovely on you.
Yeah.
And then that rose the temperature in your skin a little bit.
Interesting. I've worn more this type of colour in the past than that, but I can totally see how this actually complements way better.
Yeah, and obviously when we do the drapes, there's only a selected amount of colours, but in your actual colour swatch, there is variations of that pink from light to dark. So you will have a version of this, but it won't have as much warmth into it.
Yes.
So this is very much to a warm colour season, and you're definitely more actually in the cooler colour season. So I can
see that.
So that's how that works. I'll show you that in a minute with your colour swatch too. So chocolate is usually a surprise for people. Do you wear chocolate at all? Never? Okay.
I will wear navy.
Oh yeah.
If not black, obviously, but I will go more navy than I would brown.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Well, let's see how this looks on you. That's still really complimentary. Makes your skin look really good. Like in your eyebrows and your hair, gorgeous.
Yeah.
As opposed to that's a bit too
dark.
dark.
I can see that.
Yeah. So yeah, I think brown would really suit you. It brings out the freckles on your skin and looks really good. All right, so now we've got a lovely blue. Always good. That's the right shade, the right intensity of it. It's lovely. And then that.
It just goes so flat, doesn't it?
It does go a bit flat, and it just, again, like your Fiji turn is kind of just coming up a little bit. So yeah, it's just a little bit too rich for your skin. But there will be a darker blue, but just in the right tones for you. Now the lovely greens. Your right. That's pretty good. And that's a bit rich. That was also very obvious versus one versus the next. Know that you are in the cool and light kind of category. So that is all the different colors that would be, in a color board like this. So I can see all of these shades quite nicely on you. Not all together. That is a bit much. But most certainly, each of those in a top, look really lovely on you.
Beautiful.
So that's really good. So that's, you can just see like all those shades look really good. They look really complementary. Nothing sort of stands out away. It all blends in really, really lovely.
Yeah. Even with such diverse ranges, it's still.
And look, a lot of people say when I see these kinds of board, I get a bit dizzy, and I get that. It's a lot of color, because you most certainly wouldn't wear this as a pattern, for example. But yeah, you just kind of have to imagine that that's a whole blue top. That your top just changes from white to that blue. It would work. All these colors would look amazing on you. Even that green, you had a green growing in front of you that was way too warm, but this sort of limey but cooler version of it's much better on you. So, excellent. All right, so you are a cool, muted and light, also known as a light summer. And I will show you your color swatch.
Amazing.
So, yay.
I like being a light summer.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, it is fun. Yeah.
Cool idea.
Isn't it great? These colors.
Wow.
Yeah, I can see all of these on you. Just gorgeous. So this color swatch has already been predetermined on how dark colors can get and how light colors, look great on you. So you don't actually have to imagine, oh, would a darker shade of this look good on me? You already know in this particular color swatch that is sort of the lightest version that you can wear, and that is the darkest. That is going to look the most balanced on your skin.
Amazing.
So it's very simple for you. Now, on the right hand side of your color swatch will be the warmer sort of shades of colors, because your twin sister in the color seasons is a light and warm. So, there are some aspects of your color season that have a warmer tinge to it. And then obviously you've got lots of beautiful greens, lots of beautiful blues, the purple, the periwinkle sit in between that. Then it goes into the pinks, and then those beautiful strawberry kind of reds, corals, and lots of greys. Unfortunately, warm charcoal is like the best color on you as opposed to black, but
Okay.
you know, I get it with the...
That's good to know.
Yes. So there are all your colors. Look at that.
Amazing. Wow.
Look really good.
Yeah.
You happy with that?
Yeah. It's beautiful.
So good.
Yeah, I can really see the shades. Yeah.
Shades are good. Yes. So you've got a bit of contrast. You definitely look great in contrast. But it's not overboard. You know, it's not the most contrasted of color seasons. Sort of a good solid medium. But medium in your way. You know, like the medium as in how your original hair color and then the other color. That's, you would call that like it is contrast, but it's medium. It's not too crazy harsh.
Yes.
And I think that's probably where when you colored your hair like extremely different.
Yes.
That's when you went, oh, I'm not used to this.
Definitely. Yeah.
And you would have had to, obviously your color season would have changed, but you would have also had to wear brighter colors.
I did, because otherwise it just looked, when I had dark brown hair, if I didn't wear color, it just all got completely washed out. And in your profession, you're most likely to wear sort of, you know, like maybe even blacks on the bottom. That's not going to affect your color season. So this is great to know. Really good. So there you go. Cool. Muted and light. There you go. Muted and light. Very cool. That's yours. Thank you. Okay, great. I love that.